What's up, guys? This is K-LO, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we are cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news, rumors, and pretty much anything else out there. And who better to join me than my co-host and my sous chef, Aden? Why don't you say what's up?
I keep trying extremely hard to make you crack during that, and
No.
you are just a man of steel here.
I stare a hole through my camera, and I've noticed the trick with YouTube. You gotta just stare slightly above where the little lens is, and it looks like you're looking at the camera, and I'm not looking over here at you. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's me locking in, and I gotta lock in for this episode because we're talking about the biggest game of all time being Grand Theft Auto 6. But before we get into that, we'd like to say thank you to anybody and everybody who's out there liking and subscribing here to Game Sandwich. And if you're new here, join our Discord community where we're talking about games 24/7, and we're doing the streaming things here on YouTube and on Twitch. You might want to go check that out. Plug in everything this morning. But Aden, I would say a lot rides on Grand Theft Auto 6. Not only for me. I'm not talking about little old me and our little league where we drafted things, and I might have drafted GTA 6, so I hold no bias.
You care about it.
I hold no bias here. Why would I hold bias? It's not like my whole formation of my team relies on this title. That's neither here nor there. But a little headline came out over the weekend at GDC that I wanted to talk about today because, well, it involves Grand Theft Auto 6 and a potential delay, which we're not speaking into existence, but how that could collapse the gaming industry, as if it's not in a bad state right now. But I digress. So this quote today comes from he is Ben Porter, the director of consulting at games industry intelligence firm Newzoo, and he's basically saying the whole gaming industry is holding its breath, waiting for GTA 6 to get out. And then if it gets delayed by 3, 4, 5, or 6 months, what do you do? And he's talking about like a smaller company, or let's just say Obsidian with the Outer Worlds 2. What happens?
If it's you pray, but
I'm praying every night. Like, please, GTA 6, just come out in November. That's all I need you to do. But he then goes on to say you either have to launch in that big black hole, aka you're releasing alongside GTA 6, or you have to kind of push your game out an additional 6 months. And for certain companies, that might tank the whole company overall. So what do you think of this? Because we've talked before about Borderlands and GTA 6 and how you can't release this before that, and there are other big games coming out over that fall break. We assume more Nintendo games. What are we thinking? Like, is this as bad as we're framing it right now, or is it kind of like, yeah, it's going to come out and then everyone follows?
okay. To be frank here, I don't think that we have to worry about anything involving Nintendo. Nintendo's off in their own little world. Nintendo
Let them
land,
rock.
if you will.
Let them rock.
They are enjoying their rides and stuff in like Universal and all that. They're just off in Super Nintendo world.
Honestly.
But I mean, Nintendo could literally release a game the same day as GTA 6, and they probably wouldn't lose sales only because you have a niche like number of followers who are like, "Oh, I slave over Nintendo," basically. But where I'm worried about is really the other gaming industries, really, like the other game developers. Like, so think about it like this, like indie developers, I don't see a huge issue with, because a lot of people, if they like an indie title, they will still go after that indie title, even if bigger titles release. Now, if you focus in on other big developers, then that's where the issue lies, because there are developers who are waiting to announce a release date, specifically for when Grand Theft Auto gets announced a release date. So it's like those ones, they are trying to fit in a slot, and if GTA lands on the same day, like, well, not on the same day because we don't know the day, but if it lands in the same area that it's supposed to, that people think that it will, then they can either go, okay, we're going to release after, or we're going to release before. But if it gets pushed back, they have to scramble, like you just said from that quote. You have to scramble to try and get stuff released in that time period before GTA 6 can come out and then dwarf your sales.
I so for the sake of the video, are we saying October or November?
I mean, I think it falls in either one of those. Like, I think
Either
it's
one.
more likely October, but I could see
Yeah.
mid-October to mid-November, that month-long space.
I'm really trying to find the slated games, but off the top of my head, I would assume the new Call of Duty. Let's just say that, which that's going to be interesting to see how that pairs up. We talked about Borderlands 4 got the release date, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's that one is in September,
September.
is on September 23rd.
September
And
23rd.
like many have stated, that is also being published by Take-Two Interactive. So
Yeah, I'm not
since
worried about that.
Since Take-Two releases both of them, you can automatically assume that GTA will be after Borderlands because otherwise it'll just end up dwarfing Borderlands and nobody will care about it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
to be announced, like, so I'm just looking at just a list here for like stuff that hasn't officially been announced for a release date yet that's supposed to come out in 2025. Like Death Stranding 2,
Mm.
massive title there. So we have that one automatically. You have smaller games like Calamity Angels or like Bylina or Big Walk, stuff like that. A lot of smaller games that I don't think will be super affected, but they could potentially, if you know, if there's a big enough following, they might not have to worry. But if there's not, then they might get dwarfed. Not sure there. But then you also have like other titles like there's Hunter x Hunter. Killing Floor 3 is supposed to release later this year as well.
Mm.
Little Nightmares 3.
Uh,
And there's also Metroid Prime 4, but I already said Nintendo's probably not doesn't have anything to worry about. So
I I would argue. I mean, depending, Switch 2 Direct is next week, so hold your breath with anything I'm about to say. We don't know exactly when Pokemon Legends EA is coming out. We got
uh,
2025, but I I'm assuming over the summer. That's just
but
me.
let's face it here. Pokemon is literally the biggest IP in the entirety of the world. Do you really think it's going to be affected by Grand Theft Auto? No.
There are things that do, and I say this bit aside, that make me worry about GTA 6, and not in the sense of it's going to be delayed or whatever, but whenever there's talks around this title, it's the biggest game to probably ever release, at least in our lifetime, at least that I know of, that I'm going to say. It's also the most anticipated. People got the high expectations. This is a true next generation Grand Theft Auto game that's going to take full advantage of all these shiny new objects we have in our living rooms and stuff. But then there's that prospect of the $100 price tag that everyone keeps floating out there. Would that detract people? I don't know. Personally, if we're in gaming, we're buying this damn game, whether it's 100,
Oh yeah.
70, or whatever. But for other people, that's a big choice to make as far as like, am I going to do whatever? There's going to be someone that comments, it's whatever, it's Grand Theft Auto. I get that, and I'm trying not to just say it's Grand Theft Auto, whatever. But $100 game is still the first of its kind. Like base game $100, that is a big ask.
Makes me wonder if there's going to be a like deluxe edition.
Shoot, if that
Deluxe edition, $150.
I was gonna say you're pricing that at least 170, but I don't know. It's so weird with Grand Theft Auto 6. Also, it's very weird we're sitting here right now just talking about will it be delayed? Hell, are we gonna get another trailer anytime soon? I mean,
No.
last year is when we got the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. I literally started here at Game Sandwich, like I would say a week or two before we got the actual trailer. That was my very first video on this channel. Since then,
Yeah.
it's been literally us just speaking into the
It has
void.
been 1 year and 4 months.
We're speaking into the
And
void at this point. Like literally, like we got one trailer to talk about and nothing since. Albeit we've gotten alleged leaks and
you know
but
what?
not.
I think it's big enough. No second trailer. No second trailer. All they do is they just create like an Instagram post or like a Twitter post that just says, "Hey, this is when the release date is." Never get a second trailer. Never. And then like we get a launch trailer. That's it. I would laugh so hard.
It seems like they could do that, and again, it's GTA 6. If there's ever a game you're gonna just buy, it's that. Because whenever GTA 5 launched, it was pitched as this giant world you can live in, you can play tennis, you can own apartments, you can get cars, and blah blah blah. But again, GTA 6 is going to take that, which was already big and still is big at this time, to the next level. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, what can you do in this game, or what you can't do? That's the biggest question. But for me, GTA 6, if it does get delayed, yes, it's gonna screw up a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
do you. Here's a prime example. Let's just say GTA 6 gets delayed into 2026. Let's say February. Hollow Knight Silk Song, that's a big game everyone's waiting for. Does it screw up that game? Because, in my opinion, as much as I want to see Silk Song, it ain't holding a candle to GTA 6. In my opinion. That's just me.
I think it's automatically going to be like you already mentioned the $100 price tag. So if the price tag is $100, there's no actual guarantee that it is, but if it is, I feel like that screws things up more than a release date.
Hmm.
I feel that is a little bit more of a screwy thing because if you have a $100 price tag and the game releases right before Call of Duty, then you have the choice of, do I spend the $100 on GTA 6 or do I spend the $70 on Call of Duty, or do
Well,
I
if you have
spend the
Game
$100
Pass.
on Call of Duty and everything? And so you get stuff like that, or you also get like Ghost of Yotai, for instance, is
Hmm.
supposed to come out. I would argue like people will be like, oh, do I spend the $100 on Grand Theft Auto, or do I spend the $70 on Ghost of Yotai? Stuff like that. I think that is more substantial than the release date. The release date, yeah, can screw stuff up because definitely for sure it's like if it gets pushed back and like let's say Ghost of Yotai is looking to release in November because they think that GTA 6 is going to be released in October.
Yeah.
That way they have like a nice month of padding right there.
Yeah.
If it gets delayed by 1 month, then that means that they automatically have to push back into December. And if December is not the greatest month for gaming, so that means that they might even push back into January then of 2026. So
Yeah. It,
you kind of have that.
it's just amazing to me how one game can like influence everything. I get this is a big game, but like honestly, we've never seen this. We've seen Cyberpunk 2077. That was a game heading into that launch where everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this is going to be the next like this is going to be a title that pushes gaming in a certain direction." Look how that launch turned out. But it's recovered. Don't worry. I very much enjoyed that game. But GTA 6, we haven't seen something like that. And now we're going to sit here and be like, all right, like, one, no trailer, two, at least as of yet. Gosh, I sound so desperate. And then now we're just sitting here like, all right, 2025, when? Everyone assumes the fall. Great. But I need to know. Like, I need the concrete, like, hey, October 24th. That's when we're coming out. Great. And then everyone else can fall in line. It's very interesting to see how this all pans out. If the delay happens, I want to see the ripple effect. Do games that were pushed later get moved up? Like, is that the thing we see? I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but do you have any final thoughts on GTA 6?
You know, my like I just have one question really. And you know what? If you're watching this, or you want to comment, and you made it this far, comment your answer down below. Do you think it's better to release after or before GTA 6? Like, if you had a preference and you were releasing a game, where would you want to lie on that release day schedule?
That depends on the shape of my game. if I am ready to go, my game is signed, sealed, delivered, like we smoothed out all the rough edges, I get out before. Because let's be honest, whenever that ball gets rolling, you're like, all right, we got the online. We assume GTA Online is going to be released sometime after, like they did with 5. And then you're
I
just
could see a
caught.
month.
You're caught in that void of, okay, you're not going to pull anyone out of GTA Online whenever that comes out because people are going to be grinding, people are going to be getting their apartments and shops and blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
and spending money on shark cards, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm more of before, but that's only if your game is complete. Don't just do it to be like, hey, we got to get out there
No,
beforehand.
I'm saying for anyone, like, if your game is already complete,
Yeah, get out
do you
before.
go before or do you go after? Do you aim for, like, oh, let's go December or something to be safe? Or do
Yeah.
you aim for, hey, let's hit September or let's hit August so that way we can guarantee a spot before GTA 6 so we don't get eclipsed?
Call me crazy, but you want to get out before in September, October, like the early parts of October, because one, you're before GTA 6, but two, you're also getting the holiday sales because people will be like, the kids will be like, I want GTA 6 right now. Parents will get them GTA 6 or whatever, and then it's like, oh, Christmas comes around. Oh, I missed Borderlands 4, just as the example. Can you get that for Christmas? There you go. There's a sale right there. So yeah. before GTA 6, please.
Okay.
At least that's my opinion. How about you?
You know, I'm with you on that. I would rather go before. I'd rather hit like early October, like maybe first day of October or something if I can, and then that way don't need to worry about it when it releases. People can spend their money elsewhere. But like, you know what? Actually changed my mind here. I would go a little bit even earlier than that, probably early September or mid-September. And the reason I say that is because people might be holding their money for GTA 6 that month.
Oh yeah.
So if they're expecting an October release, they get paid in October. They're holding their paycheck for that month for October.
Yeah, that's
So you do September so you can get the earlier crowd.
Yeah, like the $100 price tag is literally 2 games. Like after tax, you're gonna, at least in my state, you're gonna be around what 2 normal games nowadays would cost. And then like there are the fanatics that do get the special edition and stuff like that. So, you know, prayers up to everybody. I hope everybody turns out okay. I hope this game gets a 99 on Metacritic. Is that what we're judging off of? I don't know, but 99. I'll take the one off. I'll take it.
I'm gonna finally also take this opportunity to make one bold prediction of we for sure release date wise. I'm going to just call the release date here.
Right here.
You have already said October 24th. I'm gonna move that back to the 23rd for you, just because you said October 24th and that's a Friday.
Sounds good in my mind.
So, but I'm just going to say October 28th or the 30th. That's what I feel. Because that's the Tuesday and that's Thursday right before Halloween. I just feel like that would be their stick.
Well, yeah, that and like, let's just say they have online ready to go. Like, why not do a Halloween themed thing? They did that one mode with like the Wolfman hunting you down in GTA Online. That was fun. Do that.
Exactly.
Do that. And it's Florida. It's the Florida man. That's what he's going to be hunting you down. But yeah, if you have any sort of pitch for GTA 6, drop a comment down below or join our Discord and talk directly to us, where we're always kind of lurking, talking about games, posting the memes, doing all that fun stuff. But as of right now, this has been Community Kitchen. I've been K-Lo. There goes Aden. And we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.